Welcome, fight fans,
to the Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast.
Your Fight Talk Authority.
Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard ORTIZ.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo.
Streaming live and worldwide.
Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Boys
Kick-Ass Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live with the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass Podcast. We're simply kicking everybody in the ass along with the coronavirus. We got a great show for you today. And we can't even move forward without the UFC veteran himself, Mr. Cole Escovedo. What's happening, Cole?
What's up, amigo? How's it going?
It's going great, man. Our guest tonight is long awaited. I've been trying to have this guy on for a minute. He's been too busy kicking everybody in the ass. He's a workaholic. I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't own half of Tachi Palace, man. That's the one, the only, Mr. Jacob Jeff. Welcome to the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, my man.
What's up? What's up, brother? What's up? It's been a minute, huh? We have been trying to do this for a long time already.
It's been a long minute.
At least the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's been worth every minute and every second, man, because now you're here.
Yeah, there we are.
So, hey, man, talk to us, man. How you been doing? How you handling yourself? And how you been handling these handcuffs, so to speak, where you can't really even progress, but at the same time, you know, we got to be smart and be safe.
Yeah, no, everything's been good. Just, you know, we still got a skeleton crew at the casino, so we're doing a lot of construction out there, tearing apart a whole bunch of stuff and adding new machines and getting ready for this opening. You know, want to give the customers a great experience when we open back up, and yeah, but other than that, man, it's fucking boring out here, dude. It's boring. I mean, I love being home. I love my house, but dude, I'm too much of a traveler and a workaholic to like stay here all the time.
No, I know what you're talking about, man. But let's talk back. Let's get back to Tachi Palace, bro. When that, yeah. I want to say grand opening. I want to say when you reopen, right behind the waterfall, bro. We need a machine right there that says the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, my man. And I mean, when you win, you get your ass kicked and you love it because you're winning. We got to make that happen, man. We got to hook up with Tachi Palace. How does that sound, Cole Escovedo?
I've got slot machine glass from there still.
Yeah,
there you are.
Cole Escovedo had his own slot machine there, man.
I know
he did.
When Jacob came up with this awesome, insane idea for MMA themed slot machines. In fact, you still have the royalty rights to that like genre, don't you?
Yeah, I still got them. Yeah.
Like if somebody wants to get this, Rich, if anybody wants to do an MMA themed slot machine, like legit, they have to come and get Jacob's permission. Like they have to. It's ridiculous. They would have to come.
Yeah.
I love it.
Especially WC. That was a WC slot machine too.
Yeah, that was so long ago.
Yeah,
so
damn, you're old, dude. Cole. You're old, brother.
Shut up.
Well, I mean,
I was just young when I did it. That's all.
Oh, there you go.
I am seasoned now.
Yeah. How old are you anyway, man?
I'm gonna be 39 this summer.
Holy shit! I feel like old man. Dude, I'm 46.
See, I'm young.
46, man.
I got time, dude. But speaking of time, so who started this whole UFC at the Palace thing? Who initiated that?
It was our GM, our general manager, Michael Lujic.
So he reached out to them, or?
No, they actually reached out to us. They kind of reached out to me and a couple other people, and kind of finally got connected with Mike. And yeah, man, he worked his ass off on this thing, man. It was done. It was a done deal. We were holding.
Well, I would imagine. Yeah, you guys are one of the only places with the real estate size in order to pull off a venue, or especially with the experience too, like the staffing and the.
Well, we already have like, the vessels, all the lighting, like you know, like we never took all that stuff down, so all that's still there. Everything was ready to go. You know,
so because of that effort, you guys are going to get first crack at the California show when they go back live. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really cool.
I thought that, awesome, hey, gentlemen, I thought that was very honorable of Dana White and very professional. That was a class act for him to go on record and say, hey, these guys had our back. We're promising them a show, and not just a show, Cole. They said a big show, something of value, something of worth, and something well-deserved. Jacob,
It'll
when you
probably
hear
end
that,
up
how does that
being-
make you? How does that make you feel, man?
Oh, it feels good. I mean, we've always had like some sort of a relationship with the UFC. I mean, we set many fighters up there. Cole being one of them. You know, fought at Tachi and then went to the UFC. You know, got his crack there. I mean, a lot of people.
So many people have come from the Palace to.
Oh
to the
yeah,
show.
I mean, Scott
Joe
Smith.
Soto, baby.
Oh, Joe Soto.
Joe Soto, Scott Smith.
Oh shit.
Who else?
Man,
Shane. He went.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else? Nate
Whip
Diaz
ass
fought
Willie.
there.
Whip ass Willie fought there.
We've asked Willie, Hermes Franco,
Yeah.
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz fought there.
Mikey fought out there.
Man,
There's
there's
been
people,
there's
dude.
just so many people have fought out there over the years that have gone on to various shows. Did they say if it's going to be like a pay-per-view or a fight night or just like a
They
really
haven't
big fight night?
said anything. I don't think they're promising
Anything but
anything
a
right
hay
now.
at this point.
But I know
Yeah.
it's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be though. So
That's still
but it's
pretty
gonna
cool,
be
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be awesome. The UFC at Tachi, like, I don't think that's something anybody ever thought would happen.
No, especially
when
with our
they
venue,
stopped
too.
doing fights.
Yeah, especially with our venue because we only hold like 1,400 people. You know, that's
Well, I figure-
gonna be a very exclusive.
Maybe an outdoor show.
The only thing about outdoor shows, I mean, you've been there, you've fought on our outdoor shows before. It's just like hit or miss with the weather, you know. Like it could
That's true.
It could be cold as hell, or it could be 120 on the
Really,
mat.
dude, it's been so hot out there on fight days.
Hey, man,
You-
it's like Arizona and Las Vegas when it's fight night out there and it's hot. I mean, beautiful conditions for the fighter, but don't wear a black shirt out there, my man.
Oh no, we used to have to cover the mat. We used to have to cover the cage mat in between the fights and then pull it back off. That way, and then it still would burn the fighters and they would get slammed on that mat.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to get on side control.
Yeah.
Hey, but I tell you what, when they had boxing matches out there and it was hot as hell, the only one that was privileged and umbrella was Jacob Jeff. Because when he's not working, the man is either cage side, he's ring side, or he's inside. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the three or all three. The man has his red carpet as he gets to his seat.
I have been very privileged in this fight game, man. And it's just about the connections and the people that you come across. You know, you treat them with respect, they're going to give you respect back. You know, there's no reason to be a dick or anything. Oh, can I cuss on your show?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Let me say something to you right now, Jacob. If you couldn't cuss, you would be on Tuesday, the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. But you're on Wednesday, the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast.
Okay,
the Fighter's Voice with 2 different shows, my man. So we made it rated X exactly for you because you're a dirty motherfucker.
Dude, I just can't control it, man. I can't control it sometimes, you know?
So, Jacob,
You are who you are.
I know you're you've been the slots manager. Is that the official title, the slots manager for the casino?
Slot director, yeah.
Slot director. Okay, I apologize. So, slot director, you've been that
Slash
for as far as I can
bouncer.
remember. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Fucking dudes at the Coyote Club.
Yeah.
Hey, so what other hats do you wear for the casino? Like, I know you have your hands in all kinds of different pies. Like, I've seen you touching the esport pie a little bit. What are you going to do with that stuff?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We're going esports. We're going sports book. We're doing anything that makes dollars makes sense to us, man.
Anything that makes money, right?
Anything that makes money. Yeah.
Revenue stream. I
Hey
like.
man,
I
there's
see.
a lot of because my kids are into that stuff. My kids are into that.
Oh,
whole esports
dude,
stuff.
yeah.
Holy crap, there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah,
Dude, kids can stay home.
Huge.
Yeah. Well, look over in Japan and stuff. Like they homeschool their esports players, and all they do they do their curriculum and then they just play video games all day long.
Pretty much.
Let me interrupt you right there. They don't play video games. They invent video games.
Oh yeah, exactly, man.
Pretty
Those kids are
much.
geniuses, man. But yeah, we're trying to dip our hands into pretty much anything that that will bring people out to casino and let them have a good time.
Foot traffic makers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the bowling alley, the movie
bowling
theater.
alley,
Those were really cool.
Have you been out there?
I have. I was out there. I want to say, I can't remember what movie was out. I went out there, saw a movie, didn't get a chance to check out the bowling alley too much. But I saw the theater and stuff. I thought it was really cool. It's a good addition to the casino. It definitely it helps create that weekday destination spot, so to speak. Like I like it. It's a cool idea.
Like we're gonna start hosting fights, like viewing parties and stuff like that in the theaters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you'll be able to watch the big UFC events in there.
So do you guys plan?
We'll have service, we'll have buffets, because there's room for buffet to put buffet line in there. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff, drink service.
Do you guys feel that you'll ever do fights again outside of this UFC thing? Do you feel that the Palace will ever partake? Or do you think they're just kind of?
It's always on the agenda.
What do you feel is the missing component for that continued participation from just any casino? Like, there's clearly something that the higher ups are going, it's just not as profitable as we were hoping. It doesn't draw the foot traffic. What do you feel from your experience in the casino industry is the missing variable that you feel would help create that continuosity for the industry?
Tell him, Jacob. Tell him the truth, Jacob.
Hey, Cole. Like, we're both fighters, man. We both been there. We can't even pay gym fees sometimes.
Exactly.
So fighters don't have that expendable income, They need to do their training partners because they're in the same boat too.
Exactly.
But that's
it's a disposable.
It just never made money. It was always just a staple of Tachi because we've always been in the game ever since 1999.
So it'd be like bingo. Like you've always done bingo, so you've always done fighting. It's just part of the thing is you got to pick your battles on when it's profitable and when it makes sense to spend the money, even though you might not make that money back. It's a smart move to maybe throw a weekend event or something, but only like a one-off because it's just something's going on.
And we've done that before. We held events on the weekends. We held events. Mainly our events were held on Thursdays because our casinos are back on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Exactly. You couldn't quantify the extra foot traffic or gaming hours if it was on a weekend because you're busy anyway.
Yeah. And parking sucks. But
parking does suck. It really does, Cole. But check this out. Parking is really going to suck on Tuesdays, especially on Tuesdays when Tachi Palace hosts the Fighter's Voice live and in person, making it happen, broadcasting the podcast, guests as they come in, but also Jacob, Jeff, and the rest of anybody that's on the table of Tachi Palace Casino. Talk to us. Make that happen, Jeff. You're in the driver's seat, my man.
Hey, we can make it happen. I can put together a slot tournament for you guys. You can find out a whole bunch of fighters and stuff, and we can just
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
let's do it.
We can even do blackjack tournaments.
Yeah,
we'll do all the felt in Fighter's Voice. All the chips.
I like that.
Both names on pictures on them.
I like that idea. Something a little interactive with the players. That'd be fun.
Absolutely. That'd be fun. That'd be marketable. And you know what? People would want more. It's like that popcorn, man. That butter, that's perfect popcorn. They're going to want more. And you know what? They're gonna eat the whole box because they're going to want to get to the bottom of the barrel. And the bottom of the barrel is the absolute fun, the finest, and the best. Cole Escovedo, when you hear that, man, we can run slots all day long, baby. That's our expertise.
I don't know. I was more of a poker guy. My interaction with Jacob's
guy, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it broke my heart to hear that you guys were doing that. By the way,
you
guys did that. I hear tables not far behind. Like that breaks my heart, man.
Yeah, it's a dying game, man.
It is, but it's it almost seems like you need more real estate to fill up in order to make it profitable with the amount of hours and drops you're getting out of it. Like guys like Commerce.
Yeah. Like Commerce. Yeah, I agree.
Like that makes sense. It's worth on that scale.
Yeah, when we got like 12 tables and only thing we're drawing is the ante up for that thing. It just after a while in a game can last anywhere from 5 minutes to a half hour depending on how people are gambling.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's just one hand.
Yeah, the longevity, especially on the no limit games, that can kill real fast.
Yeah.
But people love taking risks, Jacob. That's why, you've been successful. That's why Cole's been successful when he runs the table. People love taking risks because they have that imagination. They have that dream of them being the winner. When they walk in that door, they don't walk in the door with what feeling, hey, I'm going to lose all my money tonight. They walk in that door thinking, I'm going to be leaving winning that grand prize. So the American dream.
I always told people that I'm going to put a slot machine that says you will lose, and that will probably be the best machine in the house
Yeah. Yeah, guaranteed. People would play it just to be like, nah, watch, I can beat this game.
I'll prove this guy wrong right now.
Dude, people are creatures of habit, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was something else that was quarantining everybody, like a threat of nuclear war or something like that, where it's like you could still interact with people, dude, home games would be off the chain right now. There'd be silly home games.
Yeah, it's true though, man, because we can't even get customers to leave the machine. There'll be a fire in the casino.
Oh yeah,
they'll wait there. They won't get off their machine for nothing.
I was part of
They dump too much in there.
Oh yeah.
They're like, I don't want to leave my table. It's like, bro, relax. The cameras are here. We'll let the casino dealers and the bankers back in first. Don't worry, no one's gonna touch your chips. No. I want to see the next card first. No, dude, get your ass out the door, bro. Like,
actually, Cole,
they're on fire.
They don't want you touching the machine. Now you're bad luck.
Yeah.
You're like that cat that just
Juju
happened
did.
across
Black
the front
cat.
of you.
Yeah.
You screwed everything up, and they're gonna blame you, Cole, because you went and talked to them.
Oh, dude, I imagine Jacobs walked down onto the gaming floor once or twice to schmooze the players, only to be called a black cat at some point.
I don't
Walk
talk to
up,
customers, man.
some little old lady's just ranking it. Jacob says, hey, how you doing, Susie? Great to see you, blah, blah, blah. Shakes your head, walk away. All of a sudden, clang, loser, clang, loser. It's like, God damn it, Jacob.
Yeah, my aunt's like that. My aunt's like, she's a gambler. And every time I walk through the casino, she just like looks at me like, keep moving. Don't talk to me.
Keep it moving.
Don't even mess with me. Exactly. Hey, man, what's one of the craziest stories that have happened on fight night? On fight night that you've been a part of or you witnessed, you're like, really, is this really taking place? Are you serious right now?
Probably the bloodbath that Cole ESCOVEDO took against Uriah Faber.
Oh, bro, that was. I figured he'd bring up something like that.
That cut was only like this big.
Dude, that bled like a pig, bro. Like a pig. That was wiping blood out of my eyes like every 3 seconds.
Yeah. That was good, though. You were technical on that one, man. You were really good.
No, that was a good fight. That was back when unifying belts and organizations was like the thing to do.
Yeah,
like you have belt holders,
champ or something like that.
Yeah, King of the Cage, Gladiator, maybe some one-off somewhere else after that. But he was just going around collecting belts at that time, and that's just what made sense in the sport at that time. So
Well, that particular fight, I don't know if you're aware, Jacob. Cole did an interview with the California kid, and at the end of the interview, he gave Cole mad props about that fight. He talked about that fight.
Yeah,
so it's all about respect and being a class act.
Yeah, no, man, I was really jazzed when we found out he was going to be fighting again. Like, that was really cool. Like, everybody was like, oh, dude, to see Uriah fight again. And in the UFC, like we all said, it was like perfect timing. The lineup for the belt was there, make a run at it, have some fun kind of thing. But, dude, there's been so many crazy things that have happened at the Palace. Just, God, that depends on even what era you're talking about. You've got Palace Fighting Championships. You've got the Charles Lewis tap-out era when the fights first started out there. You've got Charles Bennett. You've got Ryan Bennett. You've got Lewis. Now, dude, they've been through so many different phases. Like MMA, you could go to the Palace, and if you wanted to see what stage of life MMA as a whole was at that time, you just go watch fights at the Palace. Like, you get an idea of where MMA was and what was the most creditable clothing lines, what were the most popular, what gear, what teams. You just go out to the Palace, and it would tell you that era, what was going on and what was interesting. Which was cool. You can never forget about the Christian Print-Up era.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, dude.
Dude, that was wild, man, the PFC. Oh, man. Was that Fight Club meets the nightclub?
Yeah, dude. He threw it out. Didn't he throw a show at Playboy Mansion with that?
Yeah, threw a show at Playboy Mansion. That was fun. We went there like
everybody won that. Everybody won that night.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was just it's like Christian went to the tribe, and the tribe's just like, just go as nuts as you can. Just go crazy. Come up with the most insane, exotic stuff that you can. We're gonna go balls out on it. Let's go. Let's get in there. And he did. He went fucking crazy. He came up with some of the most lavish ideas I think I've ever heard a promoter come up with before. Some of the sentences would end with, and then you set it on fire, Cole. Check this out. And I'm like, nah, I don't know about that.
Hey, Cole, when you were part of a Tachi Palace lineup, man, what? Real quick, what was one of the craziest memories that you encountered, that you were a part of, or that you witnessed?
aside from having Christian dress me up in a full-on headdress up in the mountains for a photo shoot, I was getting ready for a fight one time, and I'm backstage, and one of my corner guys came in and said, "Hey, Cole, I think somebody you know is getting arrested in the crowd." And I was like, "What?" So I go out there, and long story short, it ends up being my uncle, one of my uncles, and one of my cousins ended up getting into a drunk argument with sheriff deputies, and they ended up getting a taser pulled on them, arrested, escorted off property, and banned from all future Palace fights. Meanwhile, I'm backstage warming up.
That was outside, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an outside event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Two things, Jacob. You can share your Kool-Aid with the world. Well, number one, and number two, the craziest thing I've witnessed is I was there with KP. We were covering a fight in the Richard Goodman era, which was not too long ago.
Yeah. And
there was a particular fighter that was told, okay, after your fight, we got police officers waiting for you in the dressing room.
Yeah.
There's two things. There's two things you could do, but one, you're not, because they wanted him to leave the cage in handcuffs, and Goodman said, no, that's not going to happen. That's absolutely not going to happen. So he fought his ass off. There was a couple times he could have taken the loss or whatever, but he fought back.
Yeah.
He got the victory. And as he's walking, he's looking left and right as if to say, okay, you know what? Too many people, too many witnesses. Went backstage. They were there. They were 3 deep, and then they became 6 deep, and then they had some in the parking lot. And what does he say? He goes, hey, guys, I left my shirt in my locker. Can I go get it? And they said, absolutely not. So before he leaves, he did say this. He said, well, can I at least get an interview before I leave? And we were privileged to get the interview. You know, I don't want to mention anything, but they were there, locked, loaded. As soon as the interview was done, they put the man in some still. But I was like, wow. But Goodman did go to bat for him and said, that is not going to take place. The man is going to fight. The man is going to collect the check. And you're not going to touch him until after the fight, until we get him out of the crowd.
Yeah. I was there. I was in the back when they cuffed him.
Yeah, you remember that.
I was right there. I was like, holy crap, this is really happening right now.
And I remember when it happens. And when I did the interview, you kind of looked at me like, Richard, really? I said, bro, that's what he wanted. So I said, hey, I'm going to give him what he wants. It's like your last meal, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was crazy. That was a crazy one.
Dude, man. Yeah, there's been some incidences, man. I've had. Remember
when Joe Soda's brother tried to jump over the cage?
Yes, dude. It seems like everybody's had a brother try to jump over the cage. Everybody, like
Max Griffin's old lady in the crowd trying to fight everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Max Griffin's always did well for himself in that department.
Oh yeah, he's doing good, man. He's doing really good now.
He was definitely one of the first guys that had a unique character within fighting that finally got like exposed. Like that whole Ultimate Fighter was kind of like, because he did that book too, didn't he? Didn't he do like some caveman book or like Surviving the Apocalypse or something weird like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Sacramento, right? Max Payne Griffin.
Sacramento, yeah.
No. I was thinking of Forrest Griffin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Max is old lady, right?
Yeah.
That's what you guys are talking about. Yeah, no, that dude. Now, see, that guy is a guy that may or may not win every fight he gets in the UFC, but he will make it a good fight to watch. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why he still has a well-paying job within the organization that he has, and because he knows his worth, first off, but he does his job, I guess would be the easiest way to explain it. Like, he shows up and puts on fights.
Yeah.
They don't expect you to win every fight, but they expect a good fight out of you.
Well, look at the other older fighters, like Diego Sanchez. I think he's like
Clay Guida, Diego Sanchez.
That guy, because he goes in there and puts on fights. Even, like, I would still tune in to watch him fight. I would actually still tune in to watch Clay Guida, because they put on fights.
In between rounds?
Yeah.
Like, he put on good fights, but he'd lose, he had, a 4 or 5 in a row loss streak, and people were like, why do they still have him? And you just had to say, dude, just look at his fights. The guy puts on standing ovation fights. So, but Diego, I don't know. Diego's gotten a little out there lately.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's been kind of like on the dark side, so to speak. And I'm not talking about Jeremy Luciano's podcast, which is a plug, but he's been totally like on the dark side, like selling his soul and shit. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, he did. He kind of did go out there on a little deep end.
Trying his own path, I guess, man.
Yeah. What do you call himself? Change his name to the Dream.
the dream, yeah, from the nightmare to the dream.
Nightmare.
And now, like, I heard he doesn't even have a cornerman. Like, I heard it's just that one dude.
Oh, damn.
Like, it's just like a mental coach or something specific like that to help him keep focused in between rounds, which I guess, you know, like we talked about that before, Rich. Like, we weren't really knocking it, but I'm like, if it works for you, I guess go ahead. But it just confused me so much to have one guy at that level. Like, I could see having one cornerman if you're fighting at the Indiana State High School gym and you're in the gymnasium fight. Like, I could see having one cornerman, but when you're in the UFC, like, I don't know. It seems like a flawed approach.
You cannot go, and I've never fought in the UFC, but you cannot go into a UFC fight without a 100% team around you, period. Even the team that doesn't even make it into the cage, that's in the dressing room, everybody has a place, everybody has a position, and everybody has a job to do, period.
It's like trying to play the Super Bowl without your offensive coordinator.
You need more than a man to put your mouthpiece in and take it out. Hey, being that said, Jacob, I see you watching the fights. And I see you moving from left to right, rolling punches, man. It's still in you, my man. I mean, if they had a senior tour, or if they had, hey, let's put on an exhibition, are you ready to strap it up one more time?
Easy.
There it is. There.
I got a good 2 minutes of cardio in me.
Oh,
there
come on! I've seen you hold pads for Sergio. You got way more than 2 minutes.
Hey, I see that garage. I love that mat you got in your garage, man.
Oh yeah. That garage is beast, man. I need to use it more, but yeah, I got a full setup in there, man. Good to go.
So when are you gonna start doing privates?
Whenever everybody wants to.
I see you always hanging out with Sergio, man. How many times are they gonna bring him out to Hawaii, man? That guy loves that.
Yeah, well, he still has another belt for our Destiny fights. He still has a rubber match at Trinity. I mean, so at least 2 more for sure.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love watching your guys' antics, man. When you guys go on your little Hawaii trips for fight night,
dude,
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, we get a little bit crazy, man. We did that stuff all the time. Everywhere we went, Sacramento.
You know Sergio through the old Ochoa team, right?
Yeah, he started with us back in 2006.
Oh yeah, that's way back in the day.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been fighting for a long time, man. Right out of high school, him, Nick Sierra, Alex Perez. Alberto,
Perez straight out of high school.
Yeah, Alberto. Shoot, man, there's a bunch of guys, man. And then of course we got Poppies and Mickey and Tony Alnice and those guys too.
I saw a picture of Poppies and Mickey the other day together.
That was good to see.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a minute. That was really good to see.
That was very good to see.
It's good to see everybody. They went through some battles there pretty quick, but I'm glad to see that they're back on track. So.
Well, let me give a shout out to Poppies, man, because I feel bad for Cincinnati Bengals, man, because they ain't winning shit. Poppies, I still owe you a steak, bro, because we made that bet because you guys, scored more than I thought you would in that first half. But Cincinnati Bengals ain't doing nothing. That's my dude. He still calls me every so often, man, and so does Big Martinez himself. And you know what he keeps telling me too? I'm coming back, man. Tell Cole to be ready. He goes, tell Cole Escovedo to be ready. I'm coming back. And I joked around with Cole plenty of times for that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I got a fighter, man. Got a fighter.
Coming up on my 40th birthday surprise, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, well, check it out. Talking about a lot of guys that when you're up and running again, and the smoke is clear, why not have, from Madera, California, Zoila Frosto on your card?
Oh, we've had Zoila a couple times.
No. I know you have. Let's have her again. Let's make that happen, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Her and Stephanie.
That'd be great.
Both those girls are little monsters. And they have this other girl that's training with them right now, too. Oh, man, I can't remember her name, but she just won her Muay Thai fight, and then like 20 minutes later, they called her and asked her if she wanted to make her MMA debut. So she fought twice in one night. And won both the fights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great news.
She said she was good in the back getting ready to go have margaritas, and she ended up they ended up calling her and be like, "Hey, you want to make your MMA debut? Like, we got a fighter right now." And she's like, "All right." So she put her trunks back on and went back out there. I forgot.
Where was this at? I got to find out what the commission. It was where?
Saboba.
So, oh, okay. So it's in California.
Wow. Yeah, I think
Interesting.
it was a King of the Cage or a Gladiator Challenge. I think it was Gladiator
You know,
Challenge.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad, but hearing those organization names with something oddball like that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
That makes sense. I've seen those dudes do things like, oh, hey, by the way, your fight's 2 fights, not 3. Well, what the fuck do we sign a 3-fight contract for 3 rounds in? I don't understand. Why is it 3 rounds in on my contract? What do you mean fights over? So I've seen some on the fly sort of things happen.
I've seen in Thunder Valley a guy get offered a fight on the spot.
From the crowd.
He went down to the hotel gift shop and bought some ridiculous flowered colored shorts to fight in because he didn't have anything. I think he borrowed somebody's cup.
Sounds about right, man.
Hey, Jacob, check this out, man. It was I'm not going to say the promoter's name, or I'm not going to say the casino. I was just there just to cage announce, and he basically said, Richard, you know anybody that weighs this amount? I made the phone call. This guy comes down, and he says, no, man, this is a 15-pound difference, right? But he goes, no, just give him a Red Bull and feed him something, and he'll make weight. I mean, it was that far. But see, the commission that was there goes, oh, no, hell no, we're not going to sanction that fight. And he goes, what do you mean? Because the ticket seller the fight needed to take place. He didn't want to get back any income for the tickets. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't make this phone call to see this guy get freaking devoured. But he goes, give him a Red Bull and give him a meal ticket real quick and have him come back to make the weight to get his 15 pounds. I'm thinking, long story short, the fight didn't take place, but my God, we're really going to go there? So, I mean, when I hear your stories, yes, it does exist, especially like the story you said about this guy buying flower trunks and pulling them from the crowd.
Yeah.
Sometimes the show must go on.
I've seen it happen multiple times, man. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Back in the dark ages, I've seen places where they'll just go backstage mid-round and just be like, hey, we need a guy for the next fight. How much do you weigh? And they'll just point at some random dude in the crowd, be like, how much do you weigh? You'd be like, $145. They'd be like, you want to make $1,000? Let's go. So I've seen some crazy stuff happen before.
Like with my first fight, I was supposed to fight this one kid. I showed up to the weigh-ins and they said he didn't turn in his blood work, but they pointed, Goodman pointed at some dude in the back. He's like, you can fight that guy right there. 198 pounds. I weighed 170. I made my weight. And he weighed 198, so I fought him anyway. But yeah, it was just, I was like, oh shit, I sold too many tickets to not fight,
Yeah, and that's a weird position that a lot of fighters end up finding themselves in this day and age still, with the whole less purse but a higher percentage of ticket sales. I find some fighters are just like, oh, like maybe they'll get an injury or maybe they'll get sick or something the week of camp, and it's just like, well, I can't not fight. And I feel a lot of fighters where before were relying on the purse, which was the motivation, but now it's just, oh, I've sold too many tickets. Like a majority of my money is going to come from the ticket sales, and I feel that's kind of like a double-edged sword, so to speak, that fighters are finding themselves in these days with the whole ticket sales being a major draw to getting your money out of your fight, which I don't know, man. You should be paid for the fight, not how well you can sell tickets, physically.
And it's true though, because you don't want to give your money back for all the tickets that you sold.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it was always easier with us, back in our era, because we just fought for money. We didn't fight for percentage of ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't
get your job. But back then too, if you
job.
didn't put on good fights, you just didn't get asked to fight again too. So the money was justified, because it's like, well, we're going to pay you X amount of thousands. You better put on a good fight. Yeah, we didn't put on a good fight. We're not going to use you again.
Yeah, exactly.
Seemed easy enough. We missed an opportunity though, bro. I'm telling you. We had an opportunity for the very first dojo wars back then. We had the opportunity. There was enough gyms between Hanford, Lemoore, Visalia, Fresno, Clovis, Tulare. There was enough gyms that we could have had a legit dojo wars, and it was
that would have been cool, dude. That would have been cool. Yeah, we did a lot of smokers back in those days, man.
Smokers.
These amateurs, man, they got it made, dude. Jeremy puts on shows with lights and smoke and big screens,
really big stage to perform on, and get all exposure.
I was fighting in some stinky ass gym,
right? Downtown somewhere.
downtown Tulare or downtown Fresno or somewhere, man.
Right? Where it's just like, this is shady, dude. Why am I here again? Oh, you're going to build experience. No, fuck that. I'm going to build a tetanus is what I'm going to build, dude. I want to go.
Exactly, man.
Hey, sometimes you got to take what they give you, man, and times have changed. Talk about times have changed. Jacob, I got a question for you. It's coming from Madera, California, from Jason Alexander. What was going to be the procedures for that UFC coming to Lemoore, California? One, was there going to be press? Was there going to be anybody being able to see it? Only the camera crew? Were the fighters going to stay there at the hotel, actually? And here's my list. I'll take the top 4 questions.
Yeah, so we were bringing in fencing to put around the perimeter of the building. That way, because once they get there, they weren't leaving. They weren't going to be able to leave at all. We had our kitchen staff ready to do all the meals. We had hotel staff ready to handle any kind of needs that they might need for the hotel for their stay. But pretty much they weren't going anywhere. Once they got there, they were locked in. Every one of our staff, we were all taking COVID tests. We got COVID tests for them. We had COVID tests for the reservation. Everybody's being tested. Everything was still a go. You were only allowed into the facility if you were on working at that time. You couldn't just, like I wasn't even going to be able to show up and go to work. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to get in, but
what's the point of being Jacob Jeff if you ain't got that kind of pull, man?
I would have walked in. But yeah, no, I mean, we had everything set, procedures, security. We were on it, man. We were ready to go. And unfortunately,
that's kind of a
disappointment,
man.
Yeah,
So did you know before they aired that ESPN interview, or did you find out like from the ESPN interview?
No, we found out like a couple hours before then.
Bummer. Did Dana? Was it Dana that called you guys, or was it like a representative?
It was one of his staff members. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because we didn't really deal with Dana directly. We dealt with his crew, and they were really professional, really great people. And it was just, we'd have one call where it was just the lady who was just talking about hotel essentials and food, and then we'd have another call, with just like their production crew, and then we'd have another call with their fascinating crew. Like we had like 5 or 6 different calls with different people from the organization.
They got tons of people.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun. It was really fun. It reminded me of when me and Christian and did the merge between that PFC thing, in between WC and PFC. When all that went down, it was a crazy, exciting time. This last week, 100 miles an hour. But it was fun, man. It was fun.
I can just imagine that. Hey, Jeff, besides me blowing you up, man, I mean, how many times was your phone going off once the world got wind of it? Once everybody around you had so many friends that you thought were no longer contacting you. All of a sudden, everybody was your friend. Everybody was your grandpa. Everybody wanted to make it happen.
It was my social media that was blown up because I just got a new number, so a lot of people don't have it. This new number that you got. Like nobody has that number, so like everybody was blowing up my old phone, but I'm not using that anymore. So
poor old dude on the other line of that number is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we ended up my social media got blown up like crazy, and it was just it was
dude. Like I said, UFC just people were already picturing the Tachi Yoka Wolf logo above the UFC logo, so people were already like. The imagination. People were just like, dude, I'm going to go out to the Palace and watch a UFC fight. I mean, just there's so much potential there. And it sucks that it didn't happen. But the positive you can take away from it is now the caliber of show that you can plan for, prepare for, the fights you can have on it. Because obviously it's going to be a UFC card, but they're going to have to fill out the undercard and the prelim card. Which, if they're smart, they would just use your surrounding area Valley fighters to fill that out. Really get the fighters that fight at the Palace where they fought before, and now there's just no fights there, like a home to showcase in front of their friends and family. Dude, I mean, obviously it'll sell out, but that would be a good push. Would be to use those guys, like really just let the undercard be filled out by Valley fighters. Would be a smart move.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
That would have filled itself out too, and the promotion itself. I mean, your name's already on the map, but that would have just exploded it worldwide, global. Because you know what? Check this out, Jeff. The whole entire freaking world would have stopped what they were doing to tune in. Even the haters, even the people that have never saw MMA in their life would have tuned in, even if it was for a second, long enough to get that rating, long enough to have record sales and numbers, man. Just the thought of it. I get goosebumps because, you know, I'm an hour away from it. And for people to contact me saying, oh, I bet you and Cole are doing this and that, little do they know, no, it doesn't work that way. Just to hear that and knowing it's just great for the Valley, great for the sport, and great for you guys, especially when Dana White went on record and said, I will come to them in California and provide a big fight because they had our back. Oh, man, we stood our ground, though. I mean, you know, just like you said, we stood our ground. We didn't say nothing. Everybody was contacting me, and I was just like, what are you talking about? Like the UFC's going to come to Lemoore, California. Yeah, right. You know, but, you know, we couldn't say nothing. We had that disclosure, you know. We couldn't say nothing.
They just were looking for a venue. Like,
yeah, they were down. We were like, fuck it, we'll do it. Like, yeah. Over here.
Like, because that's nothing new to you guys. Like, some casinos, they'd throw in one, maybe two events before. You guys would be like, dude, what do you need? Boom, done. We got a crew for that. We got a crew for this.
Oh, yeah.
Save your truck. We got the lighting. Because they're really just going to bring in the fighters and maybe a couple cornermen, and that's going to be it. So you're not going to have to worry about filling the seats.
They were only allowed 2 people.
Yeah, so it could have been a huge pay-per-view level show, but still just run somewhere. Like, still run somewhere. That would have been awesome.
Hey, it would have been the rebirth to Tachi Palace fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think we're going to get some more shows out of this, not from the UFC, but also from Tachi Palace fights. This lit a fire under us, you know. We know that we can do it. We know we'll be able to pull off a UFC fight, and we know that we can obviously pull off a Tachi Palace fights card.
Would you guys still label it Tachi Palace fights, or would you guys just be like a hosting venue for organizations that want to host somewhere in California?
We looked at both aspects of it. You know, we do a 4-wall, let somebody come in like a Bellator or Invictus or a, you know, or even a UFC.
Does it help you foot some of that cost?
Yeah. So pretty much all we're doing is renting the facility and reaping the benefits off of it, off of our slot machines and our hotels and our
exactly
food and beverage. You know, that's what it's all about. You know,
yeah, it's about food travel.
Getting people that's going to be there. You know,
exactly. And I could tell you 2 people, 3 people that will be there, and that's the whole Fighter's Voice crew. Myself and Cole ESCOVEDO, KP, Mike Ruther writing stories, getting pre and post fight interviews, man, like no other in the Valley, Jacob Jeff. And that is the God honest truth. If you don't promote yourself, nobody is. Plain and simple, period. And you know what? We challenge anybody from around the area. If they want to come outside area, you better be from New York, Anaheim, LA, Chicago, or Philly. That is not going to get pre and post fight interviews like the Fighter's Voice Knockout podcast.
That is very true, man. You guys are always on it, man. I see you guys at all the events, everything, man. You guys do a good job.
Richard's racking up them frequent flyer miles on his gas card.
Is that what he's doing?
Hey, dude, travels, man.
You got to invest in yourself. I truly believe in the product. I believe in the name itself, which is trademark and copyright. We own the copyrights for that. So let's put it on a game. Set me and Cole up. We'll take care of it. KP do all the video that we need to get it out there. Let's work together, man. And I'm asking you right now, not to put you on the spot, because I've always asked you, Jacob, since day one, my man. So if you don't ask, a quiet mouth don't get fed. So we'll move on from that. I want to ask you, what's your favorite meal to eat, man, since you've been indoors?
Enchiladas. Yeah, enchiladas, man. Hamburger helper.
Bro, this is the perfect time to be like losing weight.
Yeah,
I'm struggling there, man.
Spam and eggs.
Oh, heck yeah. Hey, you got to cut up the spam, too, and fry it real good.
Oh, yeah, fry them up, yeah.
Yo, dude, if COVID don't get you guys, it's going to be cholesterol.
I made some spam sandwiches the other day with some cheese on it, man. Like,
that's what's up, man.
You've been hanging out with Sergio in Hawaii way too much.
Yeah, way too long, man.
Way too long, man. He's like, give me some spam.
Gee, they serve spam over there like it's chips and salsa.
Well, yeah, bro. That's like the state. Isn't that the state like food? Is spam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
No, it is cool. But I'll tell you what, you know who's been hiding out on us, Cole? Freaking KP. That dude's not only a videographer, but dude's a chef, man. He got to start feeding us a little bit. You know what I mean? I mean, he gets down, bro. Hey,
Food Central.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, when we get up and running again and we come back to the studio and Jacob Jeffs comes to studio, we got to try out your food, man. We got to make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
There you are.
Good time, man. Good
So,
time.
Hey, you'll get that, and you'll possibly maybe even get a massage from one of our ring card girls. So, you know, we'll make sure you're taken care of, Jacob.
I don't mess with ring card girls, man.
No, you don't got to mess with them. They'll mess with you. But that's a whole different. That's a whole different story. Hey, Cole, what happened in the background I was looking at? Oh, what was that, Jacob?
Oh, the cat?
I've seen it. I've seen people go through ring card girls, and it doesn't work out very well.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There's the great background, Cole. Because you were taking a walk or something, and then what'd you do? Take a leak right now, or what'd you do?
No, I was leaning up against my car. I was walking around
Well,
outside.
hey,
Dude, it's a nice day.
you know, you're leaning up on something, but it's all good, though, my man.
So, Jacob, you've been in the casino industry for a really long time. Is that where you feel you're going to end? Like, say, I guess you would say like your professional life until retirement, or do you feel that you're going to transition into another field of some kind with what you've learned in this industry itself?
Nah, man, I love doing the casino aspect of it. I've been at the casino since I was 16, and I'm 46 now, so this is my 30th year.
What did you start out as?
I'm good at it, man. I'm good at taking people. I'm good at the job that I.
You are good at parting people with their hard-earned disposable income.
Exactly. No, man, I ain't going anywhere. I love the place, man. And it's cool because I'm helping my own people. You know, everything that I do at the casino, and all the moves I make, all the decisions that we make. You know, it benefits
the tribe as a whole.
It benefits the tribe, my kids. You know, my sisters, my mom. Like everything that I do at the casino benefits them. So. It's
good.
Easy.
I like that.
Yeah.
That does make it easy. Yeah, that does make it easy when you're doing something for a passion of caring and benefiting those around you. Yeah. That's pretty. It sounds like it could be pretty easy. I mean, I've seen you work hard, so I imagine it's not as easy as you make it sound. I've seen the empty director's board all the time with your little cup of coffee, frosting lifestyle, man.
Yeah, those
hear the wheels turning.
Selfies too.
I tell everybody, man, you guys get to see, you know, the cool part of the job. You guys don't get to see the tough part of it. You know?
The strenuous, the hard choices.
Yeah, like everybody gets to see you guys, you know, online and at the fights and stuff, but they don't know the whole backstory that you guys have to go to get to where you guys are at. You know,
the BS we got to go through.
Exactly, the politics.
Jacob, I don't know how we get our interviews sometimes. Sometimes we don't even get credentials. They said you cannot move from where you're at. KP can let you know from that. KP's sitting on freaking row 5 upstairs. I'm down on the ground. We got to get this interview going. Cole's nowhere to be found sometimes. Then he comes out and he's able to get the exclusive interview. It's just by, you know, just persistence and making it happen, man. So I do know what happens backstage. And you know what? See these eyes that we're looking at right now, Cole? The man's happy, smiling. I see the eyes of the demon in the fighter when he's got to make some decisions.
Oh, yeah. When he's pressed with that hard, like the business aspect of it. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's,
but with that business aspect, though, comes fun. Like, for example, have you seen his office?
Bro, he shows it off to the world, of course. I feel like I need to see my picture on there, too. I see it all the time.
So with that said, what would you say, Jacob, is probably the most unique or maybe special to you item that you've got in your office from your years of being through the fights, participating in the fights, all these fighters, all these organizations that have come through? You've just got a museum in your office. What do you feel is the most unique item you've collected over that time?
It's the Tachi Palace Fights belt, the PSC belts. I have those belts in my office, and those things are monster, dude. And they're heavy. They are. You know,
they're heavy. They're shiny. They're thick.
They're shiny. Yeah. They everybody. That's kind of like the talking point when people come into my office. They're like, "Oh, where'd you win these from?" like, oh yeah, it was a hard fight. It was a hard fight. And, it was 5 rounds, and bloody. And
Now, do you know where you've gotten each of those belts and who you've gotten them from?
Oh, they were extras.
Oh,
yeah,
they were extras. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like we ordered a bulk of them. So when
you just give them another belt when they would
just
defend.
take from Mary Moon. Like, hey, Mary Moon, don't take these.
These are mine now. Bye.
Yeah, see ya.
I'm gonna scratch my name in it real quick and everything. Take it, get your name engraved on it. What do you mean that's not me? Look, it says my name on it and everything. Jacob Jeff. Nah, man.
Yeah,
but
the belts are cool, dude. But just their experience,
Yeah,
hey, he doesn't post any picture without his cup of coffee with that big logo on there. That's it.
Oh no, man. Hey, if you don't market yourself, you're not gonna get nothing. Remember? You said it.
Exactly.
Product placement at its finest.
Exactly. And we're all guilty as charged on that, and we should be. If you believe in yourself, you got to go out there and get it, and don't be afraid to ask the next person, because what's the toughest thing they can say is no. Yeah. Some may say hell no, but
Yeah, then you'll know where you stand at and what you need to do to get in there the next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look at you, man. You've been grinding and hustling. Now you finally get to go in the back and do all the interviews and do all that stuff like that because you were consistent. You're on it.
Taylor.
Well, that was in it started actually off in the Christian Print-Up days. Stopped doing it for, I'll share to the world one day why. Nothing I'm proud of, but it did happen. But it brought back some fire. And meeting Richard Goodman the first time, I noticed he kept looking and looking until we established that trust and to show them we are who we say we are. Because the very next day, if not that evening, he got content, he got emails, he got interviews on the YouTube channel. We weren't not just sitting there watching the fight for free with a laptop in front of us with pressing play. There's so many people that do that. I wish somebody would tap me and Cole or KP on the shoulder and said, hey, I need to audit you. Who are you with? 1, we got a website. 2, we own the brand. 3, we got a show. We got 2 shows. 4, here's the product. We are who we say we are, as opposed to other media. And I will say that they're out there, bro, with the ringside seat with no content. So not everybody, but there is a lot of people, and we recognize those people a mile away, but it took consistency, trust, and just the fire that we have. I can't take full credit, bro. I have a great team. The Fighter's Voice is a great team. ESCOVEDO, second to freaking none, period. KP is a grinder. That motherfucker never sleeps. Mike,
seriously, he never sleeps,
how
bro.
he gets his connections, but he does, and we got a great team together, man.
Yeah, no, you guys do have a cool team. I always like hanging out with you guys.
You know what I need to do with you, man? I don't know if I can hang with you. I need to have a drink with you, man. I seen you fucking go down deep in the 5th round, bro. Look at that. That's what I'm talking. Damn, look how big that can is. That's what I'm talking about. That was
Jacob likes it. He likes his beer like he likes his men. Big and cold.
Hey, Cole, that can was thicker than your neck.
Oh, man.
What is that, like a 64-ounce can? What is that, dude? Just a tall boy?
Yeah, it's a tall boy.
Oh, my God. Was that Bud Light seltzer?
It's not bad. I just tried it. This is my first time trying it.
I'm telling Sergio you were drinking seltzer, bro.
Gee, Sergio knows that sometimes I have to let my liver heal up, too, because I drink too much. I think I probably paid Conor McGregor's carb brain in the times, man, drinking that proper 12.
If I had gotten Pop to let his liver survive a little bit more, he'd probably still be doing all the drinking today, man. That guy never let his liver rest.
Yeah.
He didn't. Hey, Jacob, let me ask you this before Cole closes the show. What do you got to say to all the viewers, the fans, the followers, and supporters, man? What do you got to say to all them, the appreciation to give back to the community? What makes you tick? And I know you're a giver. I know you're just a big teddy bear with a big right hand, but you got a big heart. I've heard it from many people, and you've showed it through your posts, and you're 100% family and giving back. Talk to us about the other side of Jacob.
Oh, man, it's just I'm very fortunate to do and be able to do what I do. It's there's a lot of people that I have to thank for it, and I have gotten so many experiences and so many adventures out of this journey, you know, and it's just awesome, you know. I just thank everybody for their support for Tachi and, you know, standing behind us on a lot of stuff that we do. You know, it's awesome. It's a very humbling experience.
All right, Cole, take us home, my man.
Oh, man. Other than that, I'm just kind of keeping our eye on that whole Florida thing that's going down. Florida announcing that the WWE was going to get essential employment access to them in their state for holding events. I imagine the UFC has got to be right behind there with a phone call to the Florida Commission going, hey, how do we get on that page? Will it happen? I don't know, to be honest. I think we're going to see a repeat of what we just saw with the ESPN and the Disney and the California governor thing, kind of putting their foot down a little, saying, hey, that's not the best idea. We'd prefer you hold off on that. I think we're going to see that happen in Florida as well. I think they're going to get super close to doing something, and then at the last minute, the plug's going to get pulled. They're going to say on, you know, reconsideration, blah, blah, blah. We thought it was not the best idea. So I don't think wrestling fans are going to get the show like the man said it as soon as they're saying it's going to happen. But I would love to see it. Not that I'm a huge wrestling fan, but if that happens, that would open the door for other people to start making money, fighting groups to start putting on shows, organizations to get paid, stage crews to get paid. Just everybody needs to get paid. So why not start throwing fights if it's safe? That's the trick that I think everybody's looking at, is how do we do things and still be safe and sustain some type of normalcy to what we were doing before. So that's about it, really. That's the only major thing in MMA going on. UFC said May 9th is what they're targeting for their next date. Again, I'll wait and see when they're actually boots on the ground doing the show. So other than that, Rich, that's about it, man. I wish there was more to say as far as MMA goes, but Corona.
Hey, but check this out, Jacob. I want to thank you for taking time joining the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass podcast. You are now officially a family member of the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass podcast. What size shirt you wear, my man? I got to send it to you.
Extra large, brother. Extra large.
Extra large, we'll get it for you. As always, KP behind curtain, making it happen. Cole Escovedo, the UFC veteran. It's a wrap here, the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass podcast. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember.
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.